Welcome back to week number 6. College football. YCFB has got all of the action covered for you guys. And let me get the pregame set up. And I don't know if we're going to have any host on tonight other than myself. Well, I'm just kidding. All right. I just made like as much noise as I possibly could. Need to get my notes in front of me. I'm kind of lagging. The guys in the back, they already know what's going on. I mean, maybe. Our first co-host, he's one quarter of the greatest college football podcast of all time. He's the pride of the Texas State Bobcats, and he's my favorite football player of all time. Please welcome Hunter. What's up, bud?
Consume the Cajuns.
Consume the Cajun. I'm imagining that's a Texas State thing.
For this week,
all right, you ready to bring on another co-host?
Let's add everybody on. I mean,
our next co-host says the West Coast is the best coast. He's so cool that Snap-on named a color after him. And remember, you can't spell Santa Cruz without S and C. Please welcome an under the weather, Cool Jude Santa Cruz.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing tonight?
Jude's hanging in there. For those who don't know, Jude's a little under the weather, feeling a little crummy. So any Jude we get is a bonus. All right. Let's see, I had worked on another one for Lindsay, and I'd lost his. I don't know. It's gone. We're just going to introduce him. Our next guest, he's the beast from the East. He's the longest-standing assistant to the Doug Flutie fan club. And he said, kids, remember, eat your Flutie flakes. Please welcome to the show, Lindsay.
Hey, everyone. How's it going? Good to see you all again this week.
Man, I'm telling you, if Jude looks like I feel right now, but man, Jude, I really appreciate you hanging in there. I could tell you don't feel well.
No, that's good, man. I think I'll make it.
Any Jude is better than no Jude. That's how I put it. But. All right, I think Hunter might be playing video games. He's got that look.
I'm trying to figure out a way to mute my YouTube TV, but still have it on so I can keep track of Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech, only for the fact that I love to watch Western Kentucky's air raid offense.
I thought you just like the silver chrome.
No, they're wearing white helmets today. It's chrome. They're wearing white helmets today.
Kentucky.
Well, so like every good air raid team, it does a couple things. One, they throw the ball every play. 2, they have a bajillion uniform combinations, and 3, that's all they got.
All right, cracking a drink here. I gotta have a little motivational fuel here. All right, winners and losers. We're in pregame. Give me a big winner from last week, Jude.
Do we believe in moral victories? I know Lindsay and I had a discussion about them a couple weeks ago.
but only if you like counting.
But if we do, I'd say Team Prime had a moral victory, man. As I kind of figured, we're going to hang in there against SC for the whole game.
Let me ask you this question. As a USC fan, I just got to get an answer. Do you think that USC's defense allowed Team Prime back in the game more than Team Prime's ability to call themselves back into the game?
Well, that's a hard question to answer because absolutely, SC's defense doesn't stop very many teams. We saw what Oregon did the week before, and as Team Prime scored 6 points. But Team Prime or any team for that matter, just all they can do is play the defense that's in front of them, and they executed, and SC's defense continued to not execute. So, I don't think you can say Team Prime didn't do what they were supposed to do, but obviously SC didn't do what they were supposed to do.
And for those who don't know, Team Prime is Colorado. But
I'm sorry.
I like the name. No, I was calling them Team Prime as well. I like the name Team Prime. We're going to stick with it until told otherwise. All right, Lindsay, who do you have last week? Big winner.
I can't say it was a surprise, but I think it's going to be huge for their season going forward. Is the University of Texas Longhorns? They pulled out a great win against Kansas, and it validates everything they've been doing so far this year. It proves that their coaching is where it needs to be. It shows that their playing is where it needs to be, and I have a tough time seeing where the loss is going to be in their future for the rest of the year.
I like the knock on wood. Somebody knocked on wood. I heard it. Jude's punching glass right now. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I know when it's going to be. It's going to be in the college football playoff when they play at sea.
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
Look,
What's
hey, I
USC's
told you.
defense? Like, they'd have to win 99 to 100.
But
USC's defense couldn't stop a middle school.
fortunately, I mean, that's possible,
The
man.
Covington Colts could score on USC's defense.
No, I don't know about that, Hunter. The Covington Colts were pretty bad. I watched.
The
Covington's where Hunter went to junior high at. They were terrible.
We were.
This is all I'm going to
But
say
we
about
did
the game.
beat. We did beat Lamar.
All right, if the game does happen, you will see this guy and that guy right there hanging out watching the game together. I will make it happen. So
For
I will
sure.
go to California and we'll hang out. And then if we win, Jude's got to wear a Vince Young jersey around town. And if we lose, I get to choose. I either get to wear OJ's jersey or Reggie Bush. I don't know which.
That's a
right.
tough choice. I wonder which one I'd wear.
Well, you know, OJ wearing OJ's jersey, I might actually think I'm a Longhorn fan. You know, you just never know. I saw that OJ was worried about USC's defense this week as well.
Said Alex Grinch is not doing his job. So if I was Alex Grinch, I'd live in fear.
Yeah. At least be careful when you're going into your house.
Allegedly.
All right, Hunter, give me a big winner from last week.
Big winner. I'm going to go with the Texas State. Actually, I'm going to go with DJ Kinney. More than just the Texas State Bobcats. DJ Kinney is validating a lot of just like the Texas State fan base and administration, everything, the belief in him. And, you know, now, like, I don't think I ever in my time as someone that followed Texas State, gone to Texas State or anything like that, expected to ever hear a coach, someone talk about a raise for a coach. And here we are talking about a raise for DJ Kinney 5 games into his, I mean, it's early, but the product on the field says, you know, if you don't pay this guy, you won't have him for much longer. So we'll see.
All right, I'm gonna save this kind of for last. Big loser is all of football in general. The passing of the late great Dick Butkus. He passed away today at the age of 80 years old. Now,
Oh, man.
80 sounds
Rest in
kind of
peace.
old, and he had some health problems coming up. But the guy is iconic with football, and football wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for a guy like Dick Butkus. So, without ado, we give our hats off to Dick Butkus. We thank him for your Lifetime Achievement Award. Gone maybe too soon, but we appreciate what you did while you were here. So, as football fans, we thank Dick Butkus. All right. We don't have any other good news today. I'll let y'all say something good. Big winners. The only losers this week were just football fans in general. Gone too soon, Dick Butkus. With that said, let's hop on into the first quarter. Y'all ready for some first quarter action here?
Let's get started.
All right. Well, you know what happens every time. It's our salute to service. Now, I'm going to let Cool Jude Santa Cruz go first because if he's got to dip out at any time, I'd rather get what he's got to say today or right now, and then we'll, you know, save all the fluff for later. What you got, Jude? What is going on with the Air Force?
Well,
Academy
Air
right
Force
now?
last weekend destroyed San Diego State University. I believe the score was 49-7 or something like that. Clicking on all cylinders right now, and I guarantee my deadlock of the week is that after this week, they will still be undefeated.
Why is that, Jude?
Well, they happen to be idle.
Playing with house
That is-
money there, Jude.
House
Playing
money,
with
baby.
house money.
Listen,
Hey,
house
remember-
money.
The team that scores the most points always wins the game, right?
That's right.
All right. Lindsay, let's talk about the Merchant Marine Academy.
Well, the people that we owe so much to in how the world goes around and how we all conduct commerce and business, lost their first game of the season, and that bummed me out because I really thought they had a chance to go undefeated all year. But
Man, I did too.
I know they took a tough loss. They didn't score all in the second half, so they were shut out in quarters 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Sloan Steady won the race for Salve Regina, who was their opponent, and they lost 35-17. But I predict this is going to be their first and only loss for the year, because I really do think that they can go all the way, the rest of the way, without having to look in the rear view on this one. So last year they did very well for themselves, only losing one game. This year I thought that they might not lose any, but I was wrong, and I think that they're going to do very well from here on out.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Hunter, let's hear about the Naval Academy.
Well, so unfortunately last week I had to dog on my I don't want to call them brothers. Let's call them cousins in service. Little cousins. But I said that they would lose to USF. I went against every predictor available, and I was right. Unfortunately, I love to be wrong when I predict a loss for Navy. So anyway, but this week they have North Texas. North Texas had a lot of hype going into this year with Eric Morris. They thought that maybe the offense would be better, and it hasn't really produced to the level. They hung with Cal for a little bit this year, and that's really the only win of note. They are only thing of note in their season. They have 2 wins, one where they barely beat Abilene Christian University, which while a somewhat watchable FCS program is nothing to go and say, wow, they beat North Dakota State by 50. It's just not that. That's not what Abilene Christian is. They beat Louisiana Tech by 3, but Louisiana Tech again isn't that good of a team. Navy, for their part, has been in every game they've played this year except for against Notre Dame. So that's unfortunate for them. North Texas struggles against the run mightily. Navy runs the ball extremely well, as we're all well aware. Navy's offense will only get better as they get more reps in a new system, especially as they go and run more and more split back veer. I think that Navy comes out on top against North Texas. I'm going to go Navy 28, North Texas 14.
I agree. I think Navy's going to win.
All right. Can y'all hear me right now?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. I'm suffering from internet lag, horrible internet lag right now. But
it's my favorite thing about this podcast.
If not,
the internet and us fight every day.
I don't know. If Charter Spectrum's not taking ESPN away from us, they're providing the most shitty internet service known to human mankind. If I could get smoke signals to work and host this podcast, we would use messenger pigeon and smoke signals. God, I hate Spectrum.
That's funny.
I'm telling you. All right.
How much
my part this week, I get to.
We don't have Christian here. I was wondering, out of today's youth, how many you think know, or what percentage do you think know what a smoke signal is?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe we need to have Gen Xers versus whatever this new generation is called. They're not millennials. I don't even think Hunter's millennial. What's your group called, son?
I get to pick, but it's Gen Z.
Well, what's Christian?
Gen Z.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, generations are defined as 30-year periods essentially. So
Oh. Well. All right.
So kids being born now aren't Gen Z, but I don't know. It's a 20 to 30-year period. I mean, you have to ask geneticists
right.
and.
Well, one day
all that
we'll
kind of
have a Gen X versus a Gen Z question. All right, for my portion of the podcast, I've got a couple of teams I have to follow. Now we have to talk about. Speaking of the Salve Regina, do you know what Salve Regina means, Lindsay?
Time out. That's a bad echo.
What's up?
Bad echo.
Someone's mic is giving us. I think it's Jude.
I think it's Jude.
Oh, let me come out and come back in.
We're getting wicked feedback.
All right, is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
I muted his
All right.
mic for a second, and the echo went away, so it's him.
All right. So speaking of Sal Regina, the team that beat the Merchant Marine Academy.
Beat him down.
Let me pop Jude back on real fast. Let's see. Speaking of the Coast Guard Academy, now the Coast Guard Academy travels to Rhode Island to take on Sal Regina, and I'm probably saying this wrong, but it means Hail Holy Mother or something like that. So Sal Regina is a Catholic university. It's in Rhode Island. It's in Newport, Rhode Island, to be honest, or to be exact. Lindsay, are you familiar with the Newport, Rhode Island area?
A little bit.
Is there anything good happening there other than the university?
Oh, in Newport, yeah, a lot of cool things are there. It's the only good part of Rhode Island. Ask Bocce, she'll tell you.
Rhode Island's like the size of Walmart in South Austin, so I can't tell you a whole lot about it.
Not
The
Newport's
best part of
word-
Rhode Island was the road out of there.
Check out.
So if you go to the school there, you can get a degree in international relations, humanity, or even a doctor of nursing. So you can be doctor nurse. And then notable alum. Would anybody like to know some notable alum from there? And they're mostly military. There was an actress and a singer, and they were like 1,000 years old. So Stanley McChrystal, General Stanley McChrystal, graduate from Sal Regina. And
Bocce
say
posted a phonetic pronunciation. Salve. Is it Regina or Regina?
Regina.
I'm
Regina.
gonna call it Regina.
It sounds
Can we just
dirty
call
when you
it-
say it like that.
Can we
Well,
just
the
say,
Latin
hold on a
would be
second,
Regina.
Bocce, hold on a second. How about this? How about we just call him Gina?
Oh,
Podcast
That way we
doesn't
can-
get demonetized.
if-
Oh wait, it doesn't make any
Gina.
money
She
anyway.
gives me the approval. Gina it is. All right. So, anyways, Coast Guard Academy is playing Gina.
so does that mean does that mean if they're
I was trying to keep a straight face, man. I can't. I'm sorry.
Without humor, what do we have, right?
Ugh.
does that mean if
Have
their
the
football
Bears
team
beat
if their
up the
football team
Commanders.
is not playing consistently, does that mean they're being a spotty Regina?
Exactly what that means. Precisely. All right, I got to get back to the banners, otherwise I'll get behind.
Oh, like a woman saying
Anyways.
Gina. Okay.
Gina or Gina? What are we talking
Gina, it is what you want it to be.
about? It's
Gina.
Gina.
Gina's
All right,
way
so
funnier.
Holy.
And shame on them
So-
for naming them, giving themselves two names that you don't know how to pronounce.
You know what?
That's their fault.
It is what it is. It's I'm not gonna win any races here, so we're gonna go with Gina. All right. Anyways, Coast Guard Academy. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this game. I'm gonna pick this game here. I'm saying Coast Guard Academy avenges the Merchant Marine Academy's loss, wins this game in Newport, Rhode Island, 24-20. Mark it. You heard it here first. Hunter is actually left for some reason. He's probably like, get me out of this deal now.
You saw it heading south early.
It is what it is. I don't know. Maybe he's pounding his head into the floor.
I don't know if Bocce's serious or not, but that's what a coincidence right there. If she's being serious,
Her father
What's that?
graduated there,
yeah, that her father graduated from that university. That's pretty cool.
so her
All
father
right,
came out
so
of the brand.
if that's the case, then we're gonna call it by its awesome name here, and that's Salve Regina. Salve Regina. I don't know. We're gonna go with that. So Bocce, so we know somebody that knows somebody. It's like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And with that said, that is our salute to the service. Now next week we'll have our ship a little bit tighter and we'll be ready to go. But for today, this is as good as we're gonna have to do. So Salve Regina it is. All right. Can y'all believe that we're already almost through the first quarter? We're
Man.
20 minutes into this thing. So, this next part takes forever to do. So we might as well get into it. Let's go conference breakdowns. I would say it's rapid fire, but let me have. Well, we got some announcements we got to do real quick. Let's pop into the second quarter real quick, and then we'll make some announcements real fast. All right. So no guest this week and no guest next week. There's a reason behind this week, and then next week there's another reason behind next week, and it'll be more obvious next Thursday. You'll kind of understand why we don't have a guest on. So I'll leave it at that. We're gonna leave it ambiguous. But also, next Thursday, mark the calendars. I'm going to put a video out this week at some point, hopefully. Next Thursday, giveaway. So what you're going to win, and this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to have more than one giveaway. We'll have 2 giveaways this year. We're going to have another one on the Heisman Day. So I'm going to put a video out before the end of weekend. You got to watch that video. You got to comment, and you got to be present on next Thursday's stream. Lindsay is going to give away the prize. What you're going to win is you're going to win a bocce ball that looks something remarkably similar like this. Lindsay and I, on cue, we did that. We didn't have to ask each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to win a Wide Right CFB t-shirt of your size and a $25 gift card to B-Dubs. Now, I know Jude has volunteered for another $25 gift card. We're going to sweeten the pot for the last giveaway.
Do you want me to sell you $25 or something?
No,
Or Cash App,
yeah,
or
we'll worry about that later. Maybe I'll just get it from you whenever we're watching Buffalo Wild Wings and Texas beating USC in the national. That's a pretty lofty what if.
Actually, man, it's looking more and more like a what if on the SC side than it is on the Texas side.
Oh, come on! I already know you picked Oklahoma. We can't. You can't fluff them too much. All right. So you're winning 3 things, right? You get yourself a Wide Right CFB t-shirt, a bocce ball, and a $25 gift card to B-Dubs from Wide Right College Football. Now we're gonna give it away next Thursday in the second quarter. Lindsay's gonna be in charge of drawing the name somehow. He'll come up with a really intrinsic way of drawing the name. No, we'll do it in the third quarter. I'm sorry. We're gonna do it in the third quarter next week. Third quarter. Is everybody ready for that? Third quarter.
I know Lindsay's got a bingo roller that sheets of paper seem to fall out of. That might be fun.
No, that's me.
Oh, is that you?
No, Lindsay's got like a shot glass and another shot glass, and then
I just have whatever I can find in the kitchen.
There's like a full bottle of bourbon that hasn't been touched. I think we need to drink that first and then start drawing names. But so if you want to win, you better not tell anybody to watch. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. No, gotcha. All right. What?
No, we needed to get viewers to watch, not to.
Oh my God.
That's the opposite.
What's wrong, Hunter? You ready to be off this thing or what?
We've come off the rails early tonight, but let's keep it going.
Hey, I have a question. Those bocce balls that you guys were showing, can you guys hold them up again real quick? So those are your personals. Those ones belong to you guys?
Does Power Stroke and Jude need a bocce ball? Is that what you're saying?
No. What I was going to say is if you guys own those, but they're bocce balls, but now they're yours, at one point or another, bocce handled your guys' balls.
That's true.
Roundabout, yes.
Cancel ops. Cancel ops.
Sorry, bocce. I couldn't resist.
Cancel ops.
Now, look, if you want to get a bocce ball, you have to go to Instagram to Bocce's Blankets and More. And she might make you a bocce ball. I guess she might not. They may be a limited time only. You know, they could become very valuable. We just don't know.
If you want bocce to handle one of your balls, make sure that you join in and get in the chat. And
I think Hunter might flip out here in a second. Look, if we're gonna ride a train to the bottom of the cliff, we're gonna have a good time doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, Brian's got it covered. He's going to watch on both phones to increase his odds. It might be gaming this system, but it's legal, so you can do it.
Look, if you're the only 2 people watching, I don't really know if it helps your odds.
I mean, your odds are really good.
All right. So we have to let's crack into some regular business here. From the Pac-12, our cool Jude Santa Cruz is going to tell us about this weekend's matchups. I'm going to ask Jude about them, but we're not going to cover certain games right now. We're going to cover them in the final hour, and then overtime. Everybody will get to guess what's on Cass's mind. What is the game of the week that does not matter? So you got to stay tuned to overtime, and the winner wins 10 meaningless points. All right, Jude, we talked about him earlier. Team Prime travels to Mountain American Stadium in Tempe, Arizona at 5:30 p.m. on the Pac-12 Network to take on the Arizona Sun Devils. Sorry, Joey.
Sorry, Joey. Yeah, Team Prime should get off the skid on this one. I know it's a home game for Arizona, but Arizona's not that good, and Team Prime is a lot better than what a lot of people thought at the beginning of the year, and not quite what everybody thought after week 1 or 2. But they're going to get off the skid and win that game.
All right, at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Pac-12 Network from California Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, California, where all them smart people are. The number 15 Oregon State Beavers travel to take on Cal. What's the prediction on this one, Jude?
That's an easy one too. Easier than the last one, as a matter of fact. Oregon State's a solid football team. I believe their only loss was to Washington State. Then they bounced back the next week. Cal is not a good football team. They hung in there for about three quarters and about 14 minutes of the of the fourth quarter before they blew it to Auburn. But Oregon State should bounce back and should win this game handily.
All right, from the Ford Letter Network at 9:30 p.m. from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. They hosted a NASCAR race there the last 2 years. Arizona travels to take on the number 9 Trojans of the University of Southern California. Jude, what do we got? Just give me 10 seconds of your best knowledge on this one.
SC looks great. Their defense holds up a little bit, and they win 56-14, maybe 21.
All right, you heard it here first. We'll
That'd be a
catch
good
up with
day
the
for a
Mountain West.
defense.
We'll catch up with the Mountain West here in just a second. We're going to travel over to that Big 12 conference, and Hunter is going to tell us about what's going to happen between Kansas State Wildcats and the Oklahoma Cowboys at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN from Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This happens tomorrow night. So, Hunter, what do we got? KSU and OSU.
I mean, I don't see anything particularly interesting happening. I think KSU wins this game handedly. There's not like a thing that you could look at Oklahoma State right now and say they do that well. So far, the only thing Oklahoma State does well is lose. That's about. They don't do that well. I mean, it's like the team plays well enough for about 2.5 quarters. You go, oh man, they might win today, and then they don't. I'm a noted Mike Gundy fan, but I really, sometimes you get to a point where maybe it's just been too long. And I hope that isn't the case for Oklahoma State. I always hope they win 11 games a year and lose one. That one's to Texas, or 2 games as long as they lose to Texas twice. But other than that, I just don't really see Oklahoma State winning this game in any way. They could, because the Big 12, anything can happen. But I think Kansas State runs the ball over Oklahoma State again for another year in a row, and Kansas State walks out here with a big, covers the spread.
We're gonna pick it up just a little quicker. At 3 p.m. on Fox. From David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium in Lawrence, Kansas. The University of Central Florida, the Golden Knights, or the Black Knights, or whatever the hell they are, travel to take on the Jayhawks from Kansas. Hunter, what do you got in this one? Give me about 15 seconds.
Well, UCF has got a -2 edge on the betting odds. ESPN FPI has them at a 60% chance to win. I don't really see that. I don't see how that happens after you have a devastating loss to Baylor after getting up to a 35-point lead. Unless Maurice Plumlee is playing, I think Kansas, no matter who's playing quarterback, hell, Lance Leipold could be playing quarterback. I think they beat UCF by at least 7 points, and they keep this train rolling while UCF begins to spiral down, even though they just extended Gus Malzahn.
All right. At 7 p.m. on ESPN2, The Deuce. From McLean Stadium in beautiful Waco, Texas, the Texas Tech Red Raiders travel to take on the Baylor Bears. Hunter, what do you have on this one? Give me about 15 seconds.
Well, Texas Tech had a big win last week, overcoming a very explosive first half with Houston for their defense to lock down the second half. Baylor found offense, and Blake Shapen led them to a come from behind, just gutsy win against UCF. This goes down in Waco at night. Waco at night's a hard place to win unless you're the Texas Longhorns this year or the Texas State
Or
Bobcats.
Texas State.
But since Texas Tech is the fifth best college in the state of Texas, because they're not UT, Texas State, or A&M, or Baylor, because they will lose to Baylor this week in a very close game, I'm going to go with 17-14 Baylor Bears.
Wow, what an offensive showdown. All right, to wrap it up in the Big 12, then at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 2, also known as The Deuce, from what we call the Midwest version of Las Vegas, Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa, TCU Horned Frogs travel to take on the Iowa State Cyclones. Quickly, Hunter, what do you got on this game?
TCU is -6.5 to win. I like that a lot. I'd say TCU wins by at least a touchdown against an Iowa State team that basically threw the game away against Oklahoma. They were fighting them tough for the first half, but then they made a ton of mistakes, which is what you come to expect from Iowa State now when they play a big game. They can't seem to close in big moments, and I don't really see them doing much against TCU this week. I mean, maybe they play some tough defense for a little bit, but TCU's offense is too explosive for them and will win the game by at least a touchdown. Pick your score, but TCU wins and covers that spread.
Take the under. All right. We're going to travel over to the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we're going to travel over and talk to the beast from the East. The one, the only, Lindsey Coyle. Lindsey, at 11 a.m. on the ACC Network from Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, William and Mary travel to take on the University of Virginia, who's looking for their first win and possibly a new coach. What do you got on this one?
Well, Virginia is going to be losing in this one again, I'm afraid. William and Mary's going to have it all over them. I don't think it's going to be that close either. I'm going to look for probably at least a 2-score spread on this one.
All right. And the game I forgot to cover in the Salute the Service at 11 a.m. on CBS Sports Network, better known as the Patriot Network, from Mikey Stadium in West Point, New York. The Boston College Eagles, a.k.a. the Lindsey Coyles, take on the Black Knights of the Hudson. What do you got in this one, Lindsey?
Boston College has been doing fairly mediocre this year so far, but I do give them a chance against Army. I could see them on the winning end of this one in a high-scoring but close game, around 42-38, somewhere around there. So I don't see much of a spread on this one, and I think that the defense is going to be lacking on both sides of the ball, so look for a shootout, but BC to come out on top.
All right, at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on that Alphabet Network, ABC. Vatek travels to take on the number 5 Florida State Seminoles at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. What do you got?
I got Florida State, and I don't think that's going to be a surprise to anybody who has been following Florida at all this year, because they are a high potent offense. They've got a very good defense, and Virginia Tech simply is not playing in the same league as they are. It's going to be a blowout. Florida State's going to come out handily. I'd say, high 50s, low 60s to maybe keeping Virginia Tech to a touchdown or two and maybe a field goal.
All right. On that four-letter network at 2:30 p.m. from Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, we got the Syracuse Orange, I think that's how you say it, travel the number 14 North Carolina Tar Heels, not led by number 23 Michael Jordan. All right. I'll give up on that one. Who do you got? Syracuse and UNC. And UNC got a huge boost. And if you don't think they're not going to be a lot better this week, they got, how do you say his name, Hunter? Tez Walker? Is it Tez Walker? I can't hear you. Muted, son. You're still muted.
Tez Walker.
Tez Walker comes back, and if you want to believe that Drake Matus got Heisman hopeful written all over him right now, believe it or not. All right, Lindsey, back to you, sir. Take over.
Well, North Carolina has turned it up a notch or two, and they have way more talent on both sides of the ball and in the coaching department than Syracuse has this year. This game will not be close. I like for it to be a rout. I think that maybe Syracuse can come up with 2 scores tops. I like for North Carolina to run all over them. I'm perhaps even a shutout, but But it's not going to be. It's going to be a lot farther apart than the score would even indicate on this one. But I'd look for like 45-10 on this game.
All right. From Clemson, South Carolina, at Memorial Stadium at 2:30 p.m. on the ACC Network. Wake Forest travels to take on Clemson. Quickly, Lindsay, what do we got on this game?
For two unranked teams, I think that you're going to see Clemson coming out on top because they do have a more potent offense than Wake Forest does this year.
All right. The nightcap in the ACC from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. The Georgia Tech, whatever they are, Hornets, Yellow Jackets. That's what they are, Yellow Jackets. They sting the shit out of you somehow. Travel to take on the number 17 Miami Hurricanes and Sebastian the Ibis. What do you got in this game, Lindsay?
Well, whatever insect Georgia Tech is, they're not going to sting Miami to be very effective at it because it's simply going to be a mismatch. Georgia Tech does not have a program worth bragging about. This one's going to be Miami all the way. Look for a score of around 56-21.
All right, we got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to hop over to the SEC because the games of the week that we're not covering, we can cover those three in a few minutes. So, Lindsay, at 11 a.m. on the SEC Network from Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville, Mississippi, the Western Michigan University travels to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. What do you got on this one?
Admittedly, I'm not as familiar with these two teams, but Mississippi State does have a better program than Western Michigan does. I would look for them to win because primarily their defense is better. So defense winning games is going to be the key to them this week.
All right. From Benton Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville, Florida, a.k.a. The Swamp, at 3 p.m. on the SEC Network, Vanderbilt travels to take on the Gators. What do you got, Vanderbilt in Florida?
I like Vanderbilt in this one. The Gators are going to be hurting. They're a little slow out of the blocks this year, and I think Vanderbilt has a little more hunger beneath them, and they're going to use that to their advantage.
All right. I think Jude's mic is open still, or something. Let's see. Yeah, it's Jude's mic is getting us. All right. In the night-ish cap in the SEC, the number 16 Ole Miss Rebels host those dirty Razorbacks from Arkansas from Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi, better known as the Grove. What do we got on this one, Lindsay?
Arkansas is going to give them a fight. And Ole Miss, although I think they will win, will not win by a whole lot. I don't see this being a high-scoring game. I'm going to give this one to Ole Miss 28-24.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Lindsay? No faith in the Lane Train or Jackson Dart. He's picking Arkansas to keep it close.
Whoa.
Lindsay just gave you the, you don't know shit face. All right. With that said, let's we're gonna take halftime a little early tonight, folks. Let's hop into halftime. I want to remind everybody of what's going on. So this weekend, look for a video with this guy's face in it, and we're gonna talk about the upcoming giveaway next Thursday. Now Lindsay's gonna draw a name out of a special hat or something. I don't know. Who knows what he's gonna do in the
I'll
third
pull it out of
quarter
somewhere.
of next Thursday's broadcast. I'm gonna be on the ROADs, and we'll have to. I'm over here opening Gatorades like I'm still coaching. You know what I mean? I'm just handing them off. What you're going to win is an official bocce ball. You're going to win a wide right CFB t-shirt of your size. And you're going to win a $25 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. So you can go play with your bocce ball and have some wings. All right. That's good enough. We're at halftime. What usually happens at halftime is we talk about our Heisman top 5. And let's start with Hunter. Hell with that. Let's start with Jude. Jude, what is your right now Heisman top 5?
Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Drake May, McCarthy, J.J. McCarthy, I believe his name is, from Michigan. And my dark horse is still, even though they lost to Bama, my dark horse is still Jackson Dart.
All right, Hunter, what's your Heisman top 5?
Heisman top 5. Obviously, number 1, I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr. Number 2 has to be Caleb Williams, only because voters might have, what do they call it, like victory fatigue or whatever. Number 3 will be, gosh, I should have had my list in front of me. I had it written down, but I don't anymore. Number 3, probably Drake May, still playing excellent football. Hard to top what he's been doing. 1 second for the last 2.
Unless you're on the West Coast,
Unless you're on the West Coast.
Washington and Southern Cal.
I think for number 3, I'm gonna go ahead and just or for number 4, I'm gonna go ahead and put Bo Nix in there. I mean, the guy's been playing out of his mind all year. We have not seen bad Bo Nix yet, and usually by this time of the season you see bad Bo Nix. And I think I'm gonna follow that up with JJ McCarthy. He's leading that Michigan offense to perfection right now. They haven't played anyone yet, so we'll see how that develops, but he's still leading them to perfection. And then for the dark horse, I'm going to throw Sam Hartman in there. Has not thrown a pick yet. And if Notre Dame can win out, maybe they sneak back into the playoff picture. So we'll see.
All right, Lindsay, it's your turn. Let's hear who your Heisman top 5 are.
Everyone's list has to have Caleb Williams on it. So does mine. I have him at number 1. I think Penix Jr. is also in that discussion, but I'm also going to throw in that Quinn Ewers has to be in people's thought processes when it comes to this. He has been on fire, and he has no signs of stopping. So
You're not wrong.
I mean, I'd keep him in the discussion, you know. Drake May, I also like, and I will put as my dark horse Sam Hartman. He's very consistent at a high level all year, and I don't see that stopping, assuming he stays healthy.
All right, I'm going to go off of what Las Vegas says, and everybody knows that Las Vegas is juiced in somehow. So they got the number 1 spot, and he's a plus 175, which means he's almost a shoe in the win. That's Caleb Williams from the University of South Carolina. And he added blocking to his Heisman
Carolina.
I know. Southern California. I don't know. My medication's eating my brain up right now. All right. University of South Carolina, Southern California. I don't know. Like I said, my brain is just toast at this point. Anyways, I digress. I've totally screwed this up. So he added blocking to his resume last week. He threw a hellacious block that he probably shouldn't have thrown, but it scored a touchdown. So we got to throw in Caleb Williams at the number 1 spot, and then Michael Penix Jr. I mean, until proven otherwise, guy looks phenomenal. The good news is he's going to get to play Caleb Williams at some point. The third at the plus 700 is from the University of Texas, Quinn Ewers, and this weekend he's going to show you why he's going to be at the top of the boards before long. And he's going to have a big game against the vaunted, what do they call that? Sooner defense. And then number 4 at the plus 800 is Bo Nix. And like Hunter said, we haven't seen bad Bo Nix yet, and I don't know that we're going to see him for a while. He's playing it, he's willing his team to win, even against lesser competition. He's holding up his end. He's not bad Bo Nix yet, so we'll see. And at plus 1,300, we have Jordan Travis from Florida State. Now, Jordan Travis, Sam Hartman, they're at plus 1,300, plus 1,600. They're all decent picks. Dylan Gabriel's at plus 2,000. I'm telling you right now, with Tez Walker, Drake May is going to go from plus 4,000 this week to probably in the plus 1,000 range. Let's just see what happens. But I'm telling you, this is going to be a game changer for North Carolina. So my dark horse is going to be either Drake May or nobody's talking about this guy in Cameron Ward. And Cameron Ward's got a big game this week, and he gets to show off at. So if he does well, we may be hearing a lot more about Cameron Ward. So. All right. That's our halftime extravaganza. We still got a couple of minutes left of halftime. Anybody need a break? We all good?
Yeah, good.
Sweet. Lindsay, do you have anything to add?
No, I think I'm good.
Hunter, TJ Finley, is he going to make the G5 Heisman there or what?
Well, to create G5 Heisman means there's disrespect to the entirety of football, but I would expect him to be in the running if Texas State continues to win some sort of Johnny Unitas Golden Arm type award. Was it Dave, the Walter Camp Award type watch list? I don't expect him to win it because he doesn't play a high enough level of competition.
Is
But
he a senior?
certainly, no.
No, I can't get the Davey O'Brien then.
Yeah, but he can still compete for the Walter Camp and for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm. So and for the Texas Tyler Rose award because he plays for a Texas public university. So we could we'll see, but hopefully he's on one of those couple award watch lists. Maybe goes to a couple events. I don't really care as long as he holds an MVP trophy from a bowl game. Could not care less.
So their schedule doesn't get any easier. I'll say this: we'll cover their schedule a little bit later, but they are a great story. And if you've never watched Texas State before, and you see them come in and play, you're like, oh yeah, they're pretty decent. I promise you, last year, the year before that, the 10 years before
The decade before that.
Offense is not something they played. Well, defense wasn't either, but they couldn't score the ball if you were paying them. I mean, like this is a pleasant surprise right here. Their ability to score points.
I remember them before they changed their nickname and their Sports Illustrated swimsuit model was their field goal kicker.
Jude's referring to the Texas State Fighting Armadillos, and Hunter and I both agree that there ought to be a Fighting Armadillo tonight at
I
Texas
don't.
State. Hey, what if Kathy Ireland's there?
Oh man!
Now? No.
Oh,
Hey, you should not bad looking still.
Why would she be there?
Oh, Lindsay, you're deprived. Oh my
I don't
God.
know. What?
Have you never seen the movie
I can't know
Necessary
everything.
Roughness?
No, I haven't.
You're fired.
I mean, I just watched used cars. That's got to count for something.
hey,
I mean,
did
you're
you
only
like it?
43. You're only 43 years late on that movie too.
That I was 43 years late on that movie as well, but I watched it a couple months ago off of Cass's recommendation, and I loved it.
See?
Hey, I can pick them. You know, Lindsay doesn't trust all my movie picks. So I'll just say that.
Well, I will say this: I've watched them all so far.
Yes. I'm a 999 and 1.
Hey, you want to go watch a good? Oh, there we go.
I mean, come on.
It's Kathy Ireland.
Still, yes, absolutely.
Lois, it's Kathy Island.
So,
I know Lindsay here. He's able to do all the fancy stuff like add stuff to the stream.
Use a
Hey, Lindsay,
computer
let's get a
functionally.
Kathy Ireland from circa 1989 or 1990.
no problem. I'm on it.
Hey, you know, ideally something out of the Sports Illustrated.
No problem.
Yeah, the least amount of clothing possible.
Gotcha. Give me a
On
minute.
it, Roger.
She was definitely, well, still is, but she's definitely and has always been easy on the eyes.
Without, I'm gonna get you one without some watermark all over it, which says who owns the copyright.
I don't care. I can look
You're
past it.
welcome. Oh,
Let's see. Waiting on Lindsay here.
all right. Well,
See, this
these
is what's
things.
great
Hey,
about
Cass, last
up?
week you said you never see me without like most of my facial hair, but my Hollywood Hogan is starting to come in.
Are you practicing your voice?
Oh man, I'll be. Oh, there you go.
Man,
Now,
what I
granted,
wouldn't
it's
give for
it's soft focus, but that's okay.
a bucket of water right now.
Makes it look more glamorous.
What, Jude? What's that? I also noticed your mustache grew back in like 3 days.
if I'm probably going to do a little bit of like him talking to Mean Gene after a match or right before a match, but my voice will be dead if I do that whole stream like that. I'll probably do some of him like on podcast now.
Yeah. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag just a little bit. On October 26th, the third quarter will be dominated by special guest. And what I mean special guest is we're going to have Hollywood Hulk Hogan on, Mean Gene Okerlund, and the one, the only, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. You just got to stay tuned and see. Third quarter, big interview.
And Sergeant Slaughter.
And Sergeant Slaughter's going to be there as well. Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
Well,
So
only one person here rates Sergeant Slaughter. So
Is it pre? You know when he hooked up with the Iron Sheik, not Iron Sheik. Who did he hook up with when he switched sides?
it was the Sheik. Yes, it is. It's Sergeant Slaughter circa AWA.
There you go.
Yes, I know all the old wrestling.
All I know is the Macho Man is not going to let anybody get away.
Brother.
Stay tuned. That's all I can tell you. Stay tuned. All right. With that said, halftime is over.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump in here for the third quarter, real quick. Sam Houston State is 4th and goal, fighting to win their first FBS game against none other than Liberty. It's 16-21. There are 11 seconds on the clock. It's 4th and goal. The ball's on the 3-yard line. Liberty is called the last time of the game. This will be the final play of the game. Win, lose, or draw. We may see Sam Houston State finally win a game after their defense has done everything they can to keep them in every game this year, and their offense has done everything but score. So I just want to say shout out to Sam Houston State for like the third week in a row having a chance to win, and they're probably gonna blow it, but hopefully we'll see.
All right, hold on. I'm about to watch the play. I see it a little bit before you do, so I'll let you know.
Got quiet.
I know what happened.
It's either a moment of silence for Liberty
still
or for
lost,
San
probably.
State.
What's the one play you wouldn't call it 4th and goal, Hunter?
A draw.
Oh God!
After that,
Oh, a fade route to a wide receiver that's 5'8".
A screen.
No, he just saw the play.
A fade route to a wide receiver that's 5'8". I mean, come on. Yeah, throw it to the shortest guy that catches the football. Great idea. And they wonder why they're 0-5. For those that don't know, Sam Houston State very recently has won a FCS national championship. While it was a spring season, they dominated the whole way to it. Took on a South Dakota State team that just a couple of months later would win the FCS national championship. Has now gone back to back, and is just doing great things in general. Sam Houston State. I mean, this season has to be the season from hell for a Sam Houston State fan. I mean, to sit there and be in every game and still lose, because remember in college football, tanking's not a thing. You lose, you just suck. So, I mean, that's just awful. Sam Houston State, if those that don't know, their offensive coordinator is one Dan Cornelson. He is quite possibly the worst offensive coordinator I've ever seen. He sucked at Virginia Tech. He's now sucking at Sam Houston State, and he should be fired from there again. If you are hiring a coach and you have Dan Cornelson come into your office, fire him before he ever signs a contract because you will waste money. Dan Cornelson, you can find me at 512-673-8386, and you suck.
We got 10 people watching. This is our highest crowd. Hunter's over here just going off on offensive coordinator of 0-5 team.
I hate bad football. Like, I like crappy football. I hate bad football.
I hate Bush Jones, and all the guy has done is win. I mean, like, I can't get away from him. All right. With that said, we need to get in the third quarter. This time next week, there's going to be a lucky winner. And that winner could be you, but you have to enter in to win. So the video that I'm going to put out this week, you have to watch. You got to leave a comment, and then Lindsay's going to pull your name out of a magic hat along with a rabbit. And you're going to win a bocce ball like Lindsay has in his hands right now. You're going to win a Wider Right CFB t-shirt like I got in my hands right now. You just got to let me know what size you are. Not a coil, unless he wants to throw in a Coil Tools t-shirt. Doubtful. And you're going to win a $25 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. So remember that. You got to enter to win. Got to watch the video. It'll be out by the end of the weekend. All right, Lindsay, you ready? You ready for the third quarter?
I am
All
now.
right, good, because I'm going to start the third quarter here. All right. The MAC. We're going to start in the MAC. Everybody loves the MAC. You know, Lindsay already picked against the Western Michigan University from Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville, Mississippi. I got Mississippi State winning this game. Toledo travels to Warren McGurk Alumni Stadium in Amherst, Massachusetts at 11 a.m. on the U. That's ESPN U, the U. I got UMass winning this game against Toledo at 1 p.m. from UB Stadium in Buffalo, New York. The Central Michigan Chippewas are going to travel to take on the Buffalo Blue Bulls, and Buffalo is going to lose again this week. I got Central Michigan winning this game. At 2:30 p.m. from Rynearson Stadium in Ypsilanti, Michigan. I got Ball State traveling to play Eastern Michigan University at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus. I'm picking the Ball State here.
You said ball.
Ball. Big ball. At 2:30 p.m. from Meagher Stadium in Oxford, Ohio. The big winners from last week, the Bowling Green State University, whatever they are, travel to take on that other team, that other
Eagles.
Miami team, the Miami of Ohio. And I'm going to pick the Bowling Green State University, whatever they are. The bad uniform. They have the ugliest uniforms I've ever seen.
They're just
I mean,
the Eagles.
that you'd have to tie a pork chop around their necks to get the dog to play with them. That's all I'm saying. The uniforms are awful. Again on ESPN Plus, and again at 2:30 p.m. from Peden Stadium in Athens, Ohio. You got Kent State traveling to take on the University of Ohio, the Bobcat. And the Bobcat I have pinned in as a winner, so we're going to go with the Bobcat. Bobcat's actually got a good defense and a pretty decent offense and a good quarterback. And once again on ESPN Plus, once again at 2:30 p.m. from Infocision Stadium in Akron, Ohio, we got the Northern Illinois Husky taking on Akron, the Zips. And I'm going to pick the Zips to bring home the W. And that's going to do it from the MAC. MAC Attack on a Wednesday. All right. So
We call that one Maction.
Maction. Yeah, but they don't have Maction on Tuesday anymore. They have moved it to another conference. And we really should cover them, but, you know, in my infinite wisdom and planning, I didn't get there. So, Jude, luckily for you, the Mountain West has a plethora of games this week. And I don't mean plethora, I mean three.
Three?
3 games. And one of them we can't talk about because it's the G5 game of the week. G5 game of the week. So we can't cover it until next quarter. So, Jude, tell me what Colorado State University at Utah State University from Maverick Stadium in Logan, Utah at 7 p.m. on No Television Network is going to be like.
Colorado State's going to go in there and get the dub. They're looking at 31-10.
All right. Now, this one I know you're invested in. From Albertson Stadium, that's that damn blue turf that everybody loves so much. In Boise, Idaho, at 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network, also known as the Patriot Network, we have the San Jose State University Spartans, not Trojans, traveling to take on the Boise State Broncos. What do you got on this one, Jude?
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to take the upset and pick San Jose State to come out with a road win. Looking for them to score some good points. They have a good quarterback, and figure close game. San Jose State wins 31-28.
You know, we ought to have like a poll. Who has the ugliest field of all time in college football? Because-
Eastern Washington.
It's either the red one or the blue one.
Oh my gosh. Well, and then there's a couple other just regular grass fields. Like if you watch like a Sunbelt team at night, like Texas State Stadium, it looks like the field is painted with like reflective paint or something. I mean, it's horrible with the lights
It's
on.
turf, and it's hotter than hell.
What 1 year SC went to play Notre Dame, I think it was probably '05. But man, everyone knows how SC's offense was, and Notre Dame didn't cut the grass for like
Oh,
3 weeks.
remember that. That was the grass gate. They were talking
Yeah.
about how deep it was. Hey, Notre Dame had to do something to slow down Reggie Bush. All right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, they should have found out something to stop a quarterback sneak, but I don't know.
Yeah, Lindale White it didn't matter. The grass could have been knee high. He was still to run people over.
That logic never made sense to me, because just say it slowed, round numbers. Just say Reggie Bush went from running a 4.5 40 to a 5.0 40. Doesn't that mean that a linebacker that runs like a 4.7 40 is going to do a 5.2?
No,
I mean,
It's about timing.
the guys that got quick feet, like take off quick, those kind of guys, those speed guys, it kind of slows them down. But the guys that are already picking their knees up to run, they're not going to.
Oh, okay,
That's why I
gotcha.
said like Lindale White. Lindale White may have gotten faster. All right.
That dude was playing the L train.
Hey, just remember his handprint's still on Michael Huff's chest. All right, Hunter. It's down to me and you. The Big Ten and the Sun Belt. Let's talk about the best football, the Sun Belt. And we're going to start. We can't start with Marshall and North Carolina State because that's our other game of the week. So let's go with the mighty Bobcat from Texas State taking on the Raging Cajuns from the University of Louisiana.
Well, I mean, we're going to go, it's a minus 2.5 point spread. It's moved from -1 in favor of the Cajuns, I should say. But Texas State offense is producing at a record pace, 491 yards. That's not to say Louisiana's offense has not been producing as well. These are both two very good teams. Louisiana, though, does have a loss in the last to Minnesota, and that's also to Old Dominion of all teams. If you look for a weakness for Louisiana, it's their pass defense against Texas State's excellent pass offense. And similarly, Texas State's rushing defense is their strong suit defensively compared to Louisiana's rushing offense. This is a these are two pretty good teams, though I will say that for those talking about how Zion Chris is a good quarterback, need only look at his stats and know that he isn't. But if you look at TJ Finley's stats, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, only a pick to 595 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 picks. I know who I'm taking every day of the week. I really think that this is for Texas State's game to win. Even if you want to go and I think the smart bet here, not advocating for betting, but the smart choice here would be Texas State. No matter if it goes against the analytics and Vegas, I think the Bobcats win this game, not by 3 points or 1 point, but by 14 points. 42-28 Bobcats.
And you can watch this game on ESPNU, and it's going to happen at 2:30
on national TV
from Cajun Field in Lafayette, Louisiana.
That's pretty cool.
We're about to call it San Marcos East after this weekend.
All right, at 3 p.m. on ESPN Plus, which means you got to have the app to watch this thing. The Red Wolves from Arkansas State travel to take on the men of Troy, the University of Troy, from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Alabama. Hunter, now Troy's a good program that played a really tough head-to-head battle with James Madison, the Dukes, a few weeks ago. What are the Red Wolves going to run into when they travel to Troy?
Stifling defense, number one. That's Troy's best ability, stifling defense, and an excellent run game with one of the best running backs in the country in Kamani Vidal. I've been a Kamani Vidal truther all year so far. He's only shown up every game he's played. 590 yards on 100 carries. Can't really ask much more of that. That's nearly 6 yards a touch. That's pretty good work there. Now, for the Red Wolves, though, Jalen Rayner has come out of nowhere for 694 yards and 10 touchdowns. 35 completions out of 52 attempts. Those are some, transfer portal numbers. He won't be playing Arkansas State next year, that's for sure. But he has led Arkansas State to 3 straight victories. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think that Arkansas State pulls out another win here. I think that the high-powered passing offense of Arkansas State gets past Troy's stifling defense. They put Troy in a position where they have to throw the ball. Gunnar Watson has proved that he cannot be trusted to win the game with his arm. I like Arkansas. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I like Arkansas State to win this game by at least 7 points. Probably a high-scoring affair, only because Troy's forced into it.
All right, we need to cover these last two games in kind of a quick fashion. At 6 p.m. on the ESPN Plus from the Malone Stadium in Monroe, Louisiana, the University of South Alabama travels to take on the University of Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. Hunter, quickly, who do you got in this game?
I like South Alabama here. They're on a little bit of a schneid, but they've improved slightly. UL Monroe's had some key losses that go ahead and tell me that they aren't who we thought they were to start the year. I think South Alabama comes in, has a good run the ball, play good defense formula that beats the Warhawks, and they improved to 3-3 on the year. I don't really have a good spread for you. I would just say take them to win.
All right, at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus from M&M Roberts Stadium in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the University of Southern Miss host Old Dominion. Who's taking down the W in Old Dominion versus USM, Hunter?
Well, both these teams are teetering on collapse, as it were. I like Old Dominion to win this game. They're a grittier team. They play tougher. And this is because I'm taking out on USM's coach, who said that Texas State doesn't have a gritty or tough team, even after they got their butts handed to them. So I don't think USM has a gritty or tough team. I think they're weak mentally, and I think Old Dominion exploits that and beats them down.
All right. From Dick Butkus' Alumni Stadium, better known as Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Illinois, Nebraska travels tomorrow night to take on Illinois at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. I got Nebraska winning this game. Hands down, Illinois is not going to be able to score enough points to keep up, and Brett Bielema's time in Illinois might be over. All right, on Saturday from Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin at 11 a.m. on the Peacock Network, we have Rutgers traveling to take on the Badgers of Wisconsin. I got Wisconsin picking up the easy W here. Rutgers is a good team, not as good as Wisconsin. All right, from Ryan Field in Evanston, Illinois, we got the Northwestern University Wildcats on the Big Ten Network at 2 p.m. hosting Howard. This isn't going to be much of a game. Northwestern picks up another W this week. All right, at 2:30 p.m. on the Peacock Network from Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa, possibly the greatest tradition in college football happens at that game. Purdue is traveling to take on Iowa. The Hawkeyes are going to pull down the W nice and easy. A lot of defense in this one. Hudson Card's not going to look so great this week. And the nightcap at 6:30 p.m. on also NBC or the Peacock channel. From Huntington Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the number 2 Michigan Wolverines travel to take on the Golden Gophers from Minnesota. And I got Michigan beating the pants off of Minnesota like bad, like really bad. So that's it from the head-to-head. Or not head-to-head, I'm sorry. That's it from the conference breakdowns. I got head-to-head. We're already in the fourth quarter. So we're going to jump over here to the fourth quarter. I'm going to start asking each one of the panelists who they've got in this game. I'll give them the stats and all the penis there, and then we'll tell me who they got as their winner. All right. Fourth quarter. I'm going to save Texas OU for the last game. I just have to because, it's Texas OU.
Biggest game of the week.
Start. Yeah. Well, I have some sneaky good games in this one. I have scoured the schedule, and I have found some sneaky good games in here. At 11 a.m. on Fox, the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes host the Terrapins of Maryland. Now the point spread on this one is 56.5 points, and Ohio State is favored by 19.5. Hunter, what's going to happen in this game? Give me just a quick
Maryland
breakdown
has
on
not
this one.
beaten Ohio State in like 8 years. Nothing changes. Ohio State beats them handily. This is what Maryland does every year. They win 5 straight games and then proceed to lose like the next 4. So I don't see Maryland winning this game. I have no expectation to even be competitive in this game. Ohio State wins 42-14.
All right, so you're saying that Ohio State, not only do they cover, take the over.
Maryland's not good. Not going to beat them. It's not going to be close. I don't know why this is even being pretended like it's a good game.
All right, Lindsay, what do you got here on the old Terrapins versus the Buckeyes?
I like Ohio State in this one. I'll take them to win, but I'm going to go with the under on this one.
All right. Now, Jude, we don't condone gambling, do we? But
We
every
don't.
game's got to have a winner, and every game's
don't
got to have a
advocate.
loser. We don't advocate for gambling. Every game's got to have a winner, and every game's got to have a loser. Who do you got in this? Maryland versus Ohio State.
I've got Ohio State winning. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. I do not think they'll cover. Maryland will cover the spread, and I'm going to take the under.
I feel like I almost need to have a turban on right now and be like the great Karnak from the Johnny Carson skit. But we'll have the great Kasnak here, and so or the
That's pretty
great
cool.
Or the great Casbah, the great Casbah here. The great Casbah. I'm going to take the Terps to cover, believe it or not. We're going to go with the under. But Ohio State's going to pull down the W because 59 or 56.5 points is a whole lot, and 19.5 is a whole lot to cover. All right.
You and I are on the same page.
On that 4-letter network at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, the number 23 LSU Tigers travel to Columbia, Missouri to take on number 21 Missouri Tigers. All right, the Battle of the Tigers, Jude. Who do we think is going to win? Now, LSU's favored by 4.5, and they're telling us that 65.5 points is what they're going to score. What do you think on this one?
Man, that's I'm going to take Missouri, and I'm going to take the under.
All right. Hunter, the Tigers versus the Tigers. Which Tigers are you taking?
Well, I'm certainly not taking either of these teams' defenses because neither of them can. I don't think are going to stop the other. They both have excellent offenses. I think it's an offensive showcase, but I think the team that should be ranked will win, and that's Missouri. LSU's defense has proven they can't stop anything, and I think LSU just ends up making more mistakes. Missouri, I think, just comes out and gets a massive win for their momentum. I like Missouri in this, and I like the over. And that's all I got for you.
I actually misread your email today when you put LSU. I thought it said ISU, and I was thinking they were playing Iowa State. But just thinking of the numbers you threw out real quick, yeah, I'm still going to take. I'm just going to switch to the over, but I'm still going to take Missouri.
Not that we advocate for it, but it happens. All right, Lindsay, number 23 Tigers at the number 21 Tigers. The number 23 Tigers are favored by 4.5 points.
Bet you the Tigers win.
The 65.5 is the over and under. Which Tigers are you taking? Are you taking the Bengal Tigers, the Cajun Bengal Tigers, or are you going to take the River Tigers?
Whichever are the ones from Missouri are the ones I'm taking.
All right.
It's like one of those moments where we all pick Missouri to win, and LSU blows them out.
Yeah, Missouri will cover. I'll take the over.
All right. Everybody's in agreement except for the Casbah. The Casbah disagrees with you. He says the Missouri covers the point spread. Take the under, but LSU is going to get the W.
Oh.
All right. From the Rose Bowl in beautiful Pasadena, California, the number 13 Washington State Cougars travel to take on the Bruins of UCLA. This game happens at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Pac-12 network. Vegas says that UCLA is favored by -3, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? And 59.5 points is the over and under. Hunter, tell me something good about this game. Pick a winner. Pick the over and under. Not because we advocated before it, because there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser.
Well, I mean, UCLA's defense is something else this year. I mean, allowing less than 300 yards total. I mean, whoever thought a Chip Kelly team could play defense, I don't know. But Washington State, at the same time, has Cam Ward in there, who is putting together a phenomenal season. It's hard for me to pick this game. Right now, though, I'm going to go with the team quarterbacked by a Texas high school football player, and that's the Wazoo Cougars with Cam Ward at their quarterback. I think they win. It's a tough, gritty fight. Actually, by the way, the other great thing about Wazoo is their running back is a Texas high school football player, and I'll always support teams that have guys like that, even though I played against one of these guys and did not win.
All right. Who does WSU cover here? They cover that -3 and they take the over and they win the game, or what?
I like the under, but I do like Washington State to win.
All right. Well, they would cover because they're not favored.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, cover. Well,
all right,
take the
Lindsay, what do
outright
you-
win though.
Lindsay, what do you got the game here? What do you got?
I got Wazoo's going to win this one, and I'll take the over.
All right, Jude, what do you got on this game?
This is Cool Jude Santa Cruz's second lock of the week,
Oh,
and you can parlay the under with the underdog, as Wazoo will win outright, and take Wazoo to cover and take the under.
All right, you ready?
The other one was that Air Force stayed undefeated, so I know I'm going to win that one.
Do you want to hear what the Grand Caspa has to say? The Grand Caspa says, take the over and Washington State wins the game. We're all in agreement. Lead pipe locks of the week. All right. At 2:30 p.m. on CBS from Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. The number 11 Alabama Crimson Tide travel to take on the fighting Texas Aggies, who should be ranked and probably will be after this game, no matter the outcome. I know what Hunter's picking. I'm going to save Hunter's pick for last. The Caspa is going to go first. The Caspa says Bama covers, takes the over, and Bama gets the outright win. Lindsay, what do you got in this game?
I'm going to take Bama to win. I think it'd be silly if you didn't, but I'm going to take the under on this one because I think defense is going to play a big part in this game.
All right. Cool, Jude Santa Cruz. Who do you got in this game?
Agree with you 100%, Lindsay. I'm taking Bama to win, but I'm taking the under as well.
All right. Contrarian of contrarians, the mouth of the South Hunter. What do you got in this one?
well, so I mean, these two teams are going to be a defensive battle, at least on certain levels. The problem is that what A&M is really good at, Alabama is very bad at. A&M has one of, if not the best pass rush in the country by the numbers this season. Alabama has one of the worst, if not the worst by the numbers, pass offensive lines in the country, allowing the most sacks, the most tackles for a loss, the most broken plays on passing downs. Goes to the Alabama offensive line. I think A&M exploits that, and if you want to talk about emotion for Texas A&M, this is their chance. This is the best opportunity for the first time since A&M left the Big 12 for a team that Texas beat to beat A&M. They cannot have that happen. It has not happened yet in 13 years. Can you believe that? A team that neither team has played a team that basically Texas has never beaten a team that's then beaten A&M. A&M's never beaten a team that's beaten Texas since they both left. So A&M cannot let that happen. The pride in them's too much. They're not only playing Alabama, they're playing Texas. They are engulfed in that mindset. You can go on A&M Twitter and see this right now. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. You can literally type in A&M, and they'll be talking about how this game matters playing Texas next year because that's all they care about is the team in Austin. And so I think they win, and I also think it's changing the guard in the SEC West as A&M will take the lead in the SEC West and eventually play Georgia like they should every year in the SEC and lose in the SEC championship.
All right, he's calling it. Now we're gonna have to. Oh, Jude's raising his hand here.
Just quick question. There was a term we used a lot last year that I can't remember exactly how you say it, but isn't it that the law of
Transitive
properties?
Yeah, there you go. Is that what we're talking about there?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
kind of. It's like
Transitive
transitive wins.
Yeah.
It's just basically since A&M has left the Big 12, neither team has been able to beat a team that's then beaten the other. So we've never been able to say definitively who the better team is since Texas beat them in 2011.
All right, we
When
got to stay on
A&M
track
left.
here. We're way behind, but we're gonna power through. So stick with us. If you're used to our normal schedule, we're just a little off. All right. Now, Lindsay, is it okay if we cover this game even though we covered it when we covered the ACC?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready? I'm gonna throw down an introduction here. From Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN. That's that four-letter network. Syracuse travels to take on the number 14 North Carolina Tar Heels. Who do you got in this game, Lindsay?
I'm going to go with Syracuse on this one, and that may not be the most popular take on it, but I have faith in them this week because I like what they've been doing, and I think that they're traveling in a good direction. So I'm going to take Syracuse. Do we know the spread on this one?
You took North Carolina in the
Yeah, you had them smashing Syracuse.
Why do you guys remember what I said? You have someone to bring these down?
Las Vegas has him as a 9.
He can't lose. If he picks both, he can't be wrong. The game will occur. Lock of the week.
It took a season and a half of college football for you guys to see the sham that I've been running on this side of the microphone. It's crashing down around me.
And now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Well, you don't want to know the method I used for choosing. Fine. If we're all right, here's what I'm going to do.
Did you just click roll a coin? Did you just like roll a dice?
I'm going to show you the method that I used for the last segment. We're doing the head-to-head.
All right,
that was my method.
So I knew we'd catch Lindsay in this one. That's why I went with him first.
That was some pretty smart picks there.
Lindsay has UNC covering, believe it or not. He's saying take
a couple of things just to
over.
make it seem like, just to try to.
He said 42-14 in his deal, so that's actually
Whatever
the
I
under.
said.
So he's telling you to take the under, and UNC wins.
I'm going with what I said before. Then
There you go.
I changed my mind about changing my mind.
All right, cool, Jude Santa Cruz. You're not going to go back on your prediction in this game, are you?
UNC and the over, and Syracuse will keep it close for about three quarters. Maybe 2.5 quarters. UNC will definitely start to pull away. Drake May is just too good of a quarterback, and I seriously think he has a strong chance to make it to where do they do the Heisman? New York.
New York.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Hunter.
Yeah, UNC in the over.
All right, Hunter, what do you got in this game, bud?
I like UNC to cover, but I think the under is probably a better bet. I mean, minus 59.5. Syracuse has not been a very easy team to score unless you're Clemson, so we'll see. But like I said, I think UNC wins outright, covers the spread minus 9.5, and I think the under is the better play here on this one. That's all I got.
All right, the Grand Casbah says UNC covers. Take the under, and UNC gets that outright W. All right, we got two of the.
You're the Grand Casbah. If I have a pick that totally rocks you, would I be rocking the Casbah?
Yeah, you're good. Rock the Casbah.
It would seem
all
that
right.
way.
Some would say this is the game of the week. Others would say you're full of shit. From Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, the number 20 University of Kentucky Wildcats travel to take on the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs. This one's at 6 p.m. on that 4-letter network. Hunter, what do you got? We got 30 seconds. What do you got?
People do this every year. Oh, Georgia's playing down, or number 1 team that's like should be number 1's playing down. I wonder what will happen when this team that's doing slightly good plays them. Nothing. Georgia beats them. They have Brock Bowers. Kentucky doesn't. End of story.
All right. Do they cover? What do we got? It's 14.5 points. Is the
no? They don't cover, but they don't cover. But take the over. Georgia wins, but Kentucky covers and the over hits.
All right, Jude. What do you got on this game?
Well, Georgia's playing down this year, and Kentucky is actually playing really well right now. I couldn't help myself.
Every single year.
I got Georgia. Kentucky will probably keep it close. So Kentucky will cover the spread, but Georgia will win.
All right.
Take the under.
All right, Lindsay. We don't advocate gambling, but there does have to be a winner and a loser. Who do you got in this game?
I will take. Would you say, Jude, Kentucky to cover the spread, but Georgia to win? That's what I say too, because I think it's going to happen. Because Jude also said that's going to happen, and there's only so many places I get my information from.
All right. The Grand Casbah has put the information to his skull, and the University of Kentucky is going to cover the spread, take the over. The Dogs get the big win. All right. Others would say this is the big game of the week. From Cardinal Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky, the number 10 Notre Dame Fighting Irish travel to take on the number 25 Louisville Cardinal at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on ABC. Hunter, what do you got in this game? Who you taking?
The Golden Domers. Louisville has had a good run. It ends. Notre Dame comes in here, smashes them, crushes them, grinds their bones to dust, as it were, and then prays for them at the end because they're good Catholics. Over. Notre Dame to cover, and Louisville to cry all the way home to a loss.
All right, Jude. We don't advocate gambling, but there has to be a winner and a loser. Who are you taking on this one, Jude?
Notre Dame in the under,
All right, Lindsay.
and Louisville covers.
All right, Lindsay. Sorry, I cut Jude off. Lindsay, what do you got here? I know
Notre Dame is
your system of determination here is arduous.
Hey, I'll use it till it doesn't work anymore. Right now, I'm going with it.
Batting 20%.
I know, and that's okay. A doctor who graduates last in his class is still a doctor. So
I wouldn't want him working on me.
Notre Dame's going to win this one. It won't be a close affair. What's the spread?
The spread is 6.5 points for Notre Dame, 53.5 total points.
Oh yeah. I'll take Notre Dame to win and the over.
All right. So the Grand Casbah, all right, is Notre Dame is killing this guy this year. I'm going to take Louisville to cover. I'm going to say take the under, but Notre Dame's going to win because Notre Dame, unless this Naval Academy, can't blow anybody out. So we're going to do that. And now we're going to the game of the week. And if you're talking about college football rivalries, there's only a couple that rival this rivalry. This is like Army versus Navy, Michigan versus Ohio State, but this one's better. This is Texas versus Oklahoma at 11 a.m. on ABC from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. You got the number 12 Oklahoma Sooners taking on the number 3 Texas Longhorns. Vegas says the Texas is favored by 5.5 points, and they're going to score 60.5 points. Now, remember, last year Oklahoma didn't score a single point. Lindsay, what do you have in this game?
I don't know why this game is getting so much hype because it's not going to be close. Texas is going to walk away with it. They have superiority in every aspect of the game. So they're gonna get the over on this. They're gonna win in a very lopsided affair.
All right. Now I have a contrarian because I saw his picks pregame because he's playing through the pain right now. We gotta appreciate him playing through the pain.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it. That's
cool.
Why.
Jude Santa Cruz says something contrarian to Lindsay. What do you got, Jude?
Yeah, I was actually that went to the group chat. I was trying to send that just to Lindsay. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I'm not sure.
That's where Lindsay gets all his info from.
Matt, I'm playing the devil's advocate. It has to be a shootout for this to happen because if it becomes a defensive battle, Oklahoma's going to get worn down and get smoked. But if it's a old-fashioned, Big 12 or Southwestern Conference shootout, I think Oklahoma has a chance. I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'm going to take the over, and I'll say 45-42.
All right. Now, I might have to hurt your feelings just a little bit. Oklahoma never played in the Southwest Conference.
Oh, it wasn't so what?
They were in the Big 8. Texas was in the Southwest Conference.
Oh, okay.
But
you knew what I guys do.
All right. This game, Hunter takes really personal, and I promise you I will hear every negative thing probably of all time on Saturday via text with my own child, my own offspring. So, Hunter, tell me what you think about this game.
I mean, this is what you want when you have Texas OU. I mean, both teams are undefeated. Both teams are rocking good. I mean, Texas is rocking stellar defense. Oklahoma's rocking good defense, stellar offenses on both sides. Quarterbacks should be in the Heisman conversation. But if you look for an X factor for one team, I'm going to go against the analytics. I'm going to go with Jonathan Brooks, the running back from Hallettsville, Texas. He has been phenomenal for the Longhorns this year. Stepped into a role by a hole that a lot of analysts said would be unfillable for him, and it's actually producing at a higher rate than Bijan Robinson, or at a rate similar to. Oklahoma's one defensive failure is stopping the run and stopping the explosive run. And no man that I've seen run the ball this year, other than maybe Audric Estime, has an explosive running ability like this man, Jonathan Brooks. I think he is the key reason Texas wins this game. I think it's a slugfest, though. I think it's 28-14. The Longhorns win by 14. I can't believe I'm saying that. I rarely pick blowouts. I rarely give Texas a score. Knock on wood. Texas wins and pushes to 6-0.
All right, the Grand Casbah has determined that Hunter stole his information. The Grand Casbah makes a prediction. Jonathan Brooks will be the key to victory in this one as well. Texas will start off running the ball solidly. They will build a lead. Oklahoma will have to throw, and that will leave Dylan Gabriel exposed to Texas's defensive line, where he'll see a pass rush that he's never seen before because he didn't play in last year's game. Texas wins this game. They cover, take the over, Horns win. That's it. That's the 4 quarters. Now it's time for overtime. And you know what happens in overtime? We got to have our G5 game of the week, and we actually have 2 G5 games of the week, and you got to pick Cass's brain here. You got to know what's in the old noggin. There ain't a whole lot floating around in there. Some malted hops and bong resin, mainly. All right. On our G5 game of the week, we're going to start with the first one, and that's the number 24 Fresno State Bulldogs travel to Laramie, Wyoming to face the Cowboys of Wyoming. This game is at 7 p.m. It's on Fox, and it deserves to be on Fox at 7 p.m. because both these teams are pretty damn good. PDG, pretty darn good. Hunter, give me a pretty darn good description of what's going to happen at this game.
I mean, it's aired out versus run the ball. It's new school versus old school here. Fresno State throws the ball over the backyard, while Wyoming likes to get down into a rock fight. And really, it's just going to depend on how that game goes. If it's a score fest, it's Fresno State's. If it's a rock fight, running the ball style game, it's Wyoming's. I don't have a prediction for you. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting G5 games of the year. Something to keep your eye on.
All right. Vegas says total points in this game is 44.5. And I think Fresno State's favored by 5.5. So, Lindsay, what is your thoughts on this game?
It's going to start with a kickoff.
It's going to end with a whistle?
It's ending when the clock runs out.
Wow.
I know. In between, there's going to be some offense. There'll be some defense. And we're going to see a lot of shots of the coaches on the sidelines running around, even like talking into they're covering their face. They're going to talk and maybe even get mad at some of the officials.
Well, both coaches are about 70, so neither of them are running.
As best they can.
Shuffling, we'll call it.
As long as Fresno State scores more than Wyoming, they'll win. Otherwise, they'll lose. That's my prediction. You heard it here. You're welcome.
Oh, my God.
This is why we have him. That's why he's the beast from the East.
I love it.
All right,
Jude.
I love it.
Jude,
It's like we hired John Madden on the podcast.
Jude is Jude Santa Cruz is a football connoisseur. Not only does he know a lot about football, he knows a lot about Fresno State Bulldog football, and they also have a V on their helmets. Jude, can you tell me what's going to happen between Fresno and Wyoming?
I'm taking Fresno State and the over, and I gave them the ultimate compliment today, as Lindsay will tell you from my notes, where I didn't put Fresno State, I put FSU. So putting FSU, people usually don't confuse Fresno State with Florida State, but, they're rocking it, so I'm going to keep rolling with it. Did that rock the Casbah?
Rock the Casbah. The Grand Casbah says that Wyoming covers. You better take the under, and Wyoming's going to win this game outright.
Woo!
There you go. Bold prediction. It's windy in Laramie, Wyoming. Fresno State's going to struggle with that wind. It's a lot of wind up there, I can tell you. I can tell you Canada hasn't fallen off the – you know why Wyoming hasn't fallen off the face of the earth? Because Canada blows. All right, now in our last G5 game of the week, it matches up a G5 team versus a Power 5 team, and this is going to happen on the CW network at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time from Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. And we're talking about the Thundering Herd of Marshall, who are unranked, who should be ranked, are traveling to North Carolina to take on the Wolfpack. Hunter, who do you have in this game? Vegas says 44.5 points. North Carolina State's favored by 6.5 total points. What do we got, bud?
So North Carolina State has decided that MJ Morris, their quarterback from last year, will be the starting quarterback in this game. They'll get a very juiced up boost from MJ Morris playing, but it won't matter because Marshall is one of the best teams on the East Coast. They will beat NC State and prove that the Sun Belt is superior to the ACC.
You got any predictions? Over.
Marshall covers, wins outright, and take the over.
All right, Lindsay, I know that you have a mathematical formula system here for picking winners.
It's pretty perfect. I don't mind saying
Mathematize me with some knowledge here.
it. Be prepared to be amazed.
Yeah.
I do like Marshall in this game, and they will be surprising to anyone who's watching the game if you have underestimated them. They will show that they are worthy of beating NC State in a game that will not be nearly as close as our betting lines would seem to indicate. So I'm going to pick Marshall to win. I don't like the defense that NC State's bringing to the table on this one, so I think that Marshall will also get. I think the game will also get the over in the score.
Cool, Jude Santa Cruz. What do we got on this one? Not because we advocate gambling, but because there has to be a winner and a loser.
NC State will cover the 6.5 and take the over.
Oh, you're picking the Wolfpack to win. He's not a believer in the Thundering Herd. I'm going to say take the over, and Marshall gets the W on Saturday on the CW. And that is going to end our G5 games of the week. Now, I'm going to give each one of the panelists a chance to pick my brain. To know what I know, pick Cass's brain. All right, here's your chance. What is the game of the week that does not matter, Lindsay?
The game of the week that's not a Division 2 or 3 game, correct?
It is a D1 game. It'll always be a D1 game, but it does not matter.
D2 games and D3 games matter.
Does not this game. It does not matter.
The game that does not matter for you is UConn and Rice.
That is incorrect. Hunter, what is the game of the week that does not matter?
I will take Colorado State at Utah
Oh, you just took my pick.
Sorry, that does not matter. That is not the game that I have picked. That is not the game that does not matter.
Oh, good news, Jude. You get a shot now.
Let me go into scramble mode. For the third week in a row, can I get it on scramble mode? How about 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2. Central Michigan and Buffalo.
That is incorrect. Lindsay, would you like your second attempt?
Of course. Well, if it wasn't UConn and Rice, it can only be South Florida and UAB.
That is incorrect.
But they're playing a protective stadium in Birmingham, Alabama.
Sorry. Hunter, would you like your second attempt?
I will take Tulsa at FAU.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Congratulations.
Not that it wasn't an impressive feat that you got that, Hunter, but we were running out of teams.
All right. Just to
The
show
Golden
you
Showers versus Tom Herman's piss chart.
the game labeled in purple is the game of the week that does not matter. I pick it in advance, and I don't tell anybody. And if you don't believe me, you can check the email. No, actually, you can't because there's some pretty bad shit on there. No, I'm kidding. I'm only serious though. All right, that's the show. We're only 8 minutes and 45 seconds over. So, heaven forbid when we bring a guest on. I don't think we're ever gonna get this thing done, but it'll go into the next week. All right, well, that's gonna wrap the show for tonight, I suppose. Anybody got anything else?
I can wear a disguise 1 week if you want to tell them I'm somebody else as a guest.
We'll call you Johnny Utah.
Sure. Whatever it takes.
Right.
Utah, give me 2.
All right. Let's go ahead and say our goodbyes and good nights. Let's start with Playing Through the Pain. Cool Jude Santa Cruz. What you got for us, bud?
Hey, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Watch the video coming out this weekend and leave a comment so you can be entered to win a very cool prize. Fight on, we are SC, and B is for victory. Remember, you cannot spell SEC without an S and a C. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Glad to have you in the chat. It was great to see you hanging around for the whole thing. Please tune in next week. Possibly win a prize. And like the channel if you will. Subscribe if you have not. Tell your friends, and let's grow this thing and have fun sharing our knowledge or lack thereof with college football every week. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
I shared my knowledge this week.
Hey, everyone. Hey, you did. Thank y'all for watching. As always, in order of importance, go Navy, beat North Texas, hook 'em horns, and eat 'em up cats. Consume the Cajuns.
Now, I'd like to thank all of our co-hosts for joining us tonight. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. Jude's been staying up on the chat. We had about 200 comments tonight, which is pretty good. We had a pretty decent watch party going on here. A lot of folks joining us. Remember to spay and neuter your pets. You and only you can prevent forest fires. And also, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.